Robert, thank you. Francis, thank you for being so vulnerable. I didn't know that I would need to redo my makeup after all this. So, right, like we pushed this. And that's what this institute is about. We have designed this year's Global Institute to ensure powerful learnings in legal operations, but we also want to ensure that we create that space for you to get to know each other in deeper and more meaningful ways. That's what this Dear World activation is all about. So, who's willing to share your story? Raise your hand if you'll commit to sharing it over the next 3 days. I invite you to ask people what their story is, and I give you permission to ask me about mine. We have such an incredible event planned for you. There is so much to look forward to. And I know that I'm the last speaker between you and what's out there. But before we get going, I want to take a few moments and share with you why we are so excited about the future of CLOC. What I have to share with you comes down to two things: partnership and risk-taking. I want to start with partnership. And what Mike said earlier and talked about earlier was so spot on. The strength of CLOC lies in you, our members. There's so much insight, strength, and capability in this community. We have people doing absolutely groundbreaking work. They're pushing the limits of what's possible in legal operations. But best of all, they're willing to help others. They're willing to share. And as your executive director, I know exactly what my role and that of our staff team needs to be. It's to help harness all that talent and innovation and find ways to share it more broadly in the community. If you look at what has allowed us to not just survive, but to actually thrive during this pandemic, it is precisely that. We've partnered with leading members to create powerful new forms of content and experience. For example, we have this incredible Education Advisory Council. They have worked tirelessly to rethink and update our content and our curriculum. It's because of their hard work that we've taken a huge step forward in how we organize and share our content. Their hard work benefits all of us. My team is taking that in and all that richness, all that work that gets done, and we're translating it into new content formats, into new experience types, some of which you're going to experience right here at this institute. One example, we heard from so many of you that the legal operations career path is changing. There is simply no longer one way, one type of legal operations career path. There's so much change. There are so many more possibilities. And so now we're working closely with members to offer new types of career and professional guidance. And it's why we have, for the very first time at an institute, a dedicated career center. We are so excited about this engagement zone. We hope you'll stop by. So that takes me to my next theme, risk-taking. You know, there's a tired old stereotype about lawyers and the legal world, about how we're tradition-bound and we're afraid to take risks. Well, that might be true elsewhere, but that, in my experience, that is certainly not true in this community. You all don't keep it safe. And so as your professional staff team, we won't either. Consider this event. We knew, as Robert showed by a raise of hands earlier, we knew that this would be the first live event that so many of you would attend in over 2 years. And we knew just how pent up everybody is and would be to see each other, to simply interact. Honestly, we could have just done the basics and called it a day. And you know what? It would have been good enough. But that's not what CLOC is all about. This group is always pushing. This group is always going better, going bigger, going faster. So we really decided to change it up and do some new things. We have so much new stuff over the next couple of days. We've got new content formats. We have more interactive session types. There's so many new experiences for you all to have. You'll notice our podcast team throughout the event if you haven't seen Jen and Carl and Tom out there already. Because we really, again, this was one thing we wanted to change up. We used to do these session recaps and video recordings that, quite honestly, nobody ever really downloaded. But now we're getting these podcast highlights directly from the sessions. We're capturing what's happening live, what people are saying about it. We're taking risks here. We're trying out new ways to get you engaged and give you new types of experiences. We have sessions on storytelling, on leadership, on personal brand development, on relationship skills. This year's Institute covers so much ground. I promise you, there's something for you out there. We even have a mindfulness lounge. So there's so much I want you all to get to, so I need to wrap up. But in closing, let me just share one suggestion for you all. If I have one hope for you, it's this: get out there. Comfort zones are great, and there's nothing wrong with being comfortable. And after 2 decidedly challenging and lonely years, no one could blame you. But if you're ready, I encourage you to put yourself out there. Take that leap of faith and try something new. Go to that session that seems like a weird, unlikely fit for you. Learn about something that you know nothing about. You might be surprised at just how relevant it can turn out to be. But above all, engage. Talk to that person next to you that you've never met. This is an incredible community. You never know how that next conversation will impact your way of thinking, your career, or even your life. So I cannot wait to meet and engage with as many of you as possible. This is going to be an amazing event. And so from the bottom of my heart, and from all of us on the staff and planning teams and the board of directors, welcome to the 2022 CLOC Global Institute. We are, woo! We are so glad you're here. So I am now going to turn it back over to Jen for a few final announcements. Jen?
Amazing. Feel a little opened up, a little warmed up, a little storytelling? Excuse me? Yes, says row 2. I love it. Storytelling is one of my most favorite things to do, in case you didn't know that already. So I'm so excited that we get to be warmed up in a new way and go out there and really connect. Couple of housekeeping notes here. Thank you to today's breakfast and lunch sponsors. That's Thomson Reuters on breakfast. That's Newix on lunch. Don't forget, everyone, download the app from the Google or Apple app stores. Get it on your phones. It's a great way to have the sessions, to have maps, to chat with people, get contact info. Don't forget also, visit the Dear World booth. It is set up on the stage in the back of the exhibit hall, which is in the Tower Ballroom. Get your photo taken, write something on your body, please, and do it. We're all going to do it, and we really want to aggregate all the results into some long-lasting memories. And last, I want you all 2,500 of you, to stop by the CLOC Talk Podcast Lounge for more conversations. We also have swag. It's limited run swag, okay? Because I got to keep the hype machine going, but everyone should at least get a sticker, okay? CLOC Talk Vegas swag. And join me, Tom Stevenson, Carl Morrison, your Institute podcast team, for spontaneous combos, either in Van Gogh 2 or you'll see us in the hallway with microphones. Come spit some bars into the mic. All right, that's our morning. Head out to the sessions. Have a great first day and enjoy. Thanks.
Yeah. You're not the type of girl to remain with the guy.